Welcome to another edition of This Week in Disc Golf. It is Wednesday, December 28th. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate. I hope you got some great disc golf gifts in your life and you're ready to let this cold snap get out of here so we can all get back out on the course. Some big news coming out right after last week's show. The PDGA announcing the locations of the 2024 major championships, all the PDGA majors. So we already knew where 2023s were going to be, Worlds in Vermont, but now we know about 2024. There was a lot of speculation about the World Championships heading over to Europe after we knew that UC Merisma and Spin 18 put in a bid in Finland. Their bid was not selected. Instead, it's going to be going to Lynchburg, Virginia, and they'll be playing on a pair of courses in Virginia, one of which was designed by Paul Macbeth. New London Tech and Ivy Hill, which is currently a temp course but will be installed in full by the time the tournament rolls around. Nate Heinold, the longtime TD of Ledgestone and Deglow, and will be TDing the Champions Cup in 2023. Also the president of the PDGA Board of Directors, will be the tournament director for this edition of Worlds. So Virginia getting its first World Championship, and Europe will have to wait at least another year. So maybe we'll see Worlds heading across the Atlantic in 2025, but a couple years still in the US. Also, Champions Cup will remain in Appling, Georgia at WR Jackson at the IDGC. No surprise there, that's the plan. 2 weeks after the Masters every year, we should have Champions Cup in Georgia. So a nice tradition getting started down there for the Champions Cup. And the U.S. Women's Disc Golf Championships are going to be going to Austin, Texas. Bid put in by Mint Disc CEO Zach Jansen, as well as Wildflower Tour Director Chrissy Fountain, and lots of other folks getting involved in the Texas area. And it's the number one state in the U.S. for disc golf, so it makes a lot of sense to have a tournament in that hotbed. Additionally, AM Worlds will be in Grand Rapids, Michigan, Masters Worlds in Emporia, Kansas, Junior Worlds in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and the U.S. Masters Championships in Raleigh, North Carolina. So that rounds out the slate of 2024 PDGA majors. Got a lot to catch up on this week as the sponsorship news continues to roll in. I expect we're going to get a lot of stuff right after the 1st of January as well, so next week's show should be a doozy. But let's get started with some of the moves that we've seen so far. Emerson Keith has signed a 1-year deal with Lone Star Disc. So he leaves Latitude after a long time with the member of the Trilogy family, and he heads to Lone Star, one of the buzzy Texas startup manufacturers. So we'll see what Keith can do. Nicknamed the World's Whisperer for some of his big stage performances at the World Championships. He was a little bit of an off year, still made the Tour Championship in 2022. Let's see what he can do next year. Thomas Gilbert is on the move as well. He leaves Prodigy after 2 years with the Atlanta-based manufacturer, and he has signed with Thought Space Athletics. He's on a 2-year deal that's got a chance to renew for up to 5 years with an option, and he'll be throwing a 50% Thought Space bag and 50% open bag. Gilbert becomes ThoughtSpace's third sponsored pro after Matt Bell and Eric Oakley, and this comes amidst some huge expansion for the company based out of the Northeast. In 2019, they ordered 3,000 discs of their first mold, the Mantra. In 2022, they ordered more than 600,000 discs. ThoughtSpace signing Thomas Gilbert gives them more opportunity to make inroads into the Canadian market. Gilbert, one of the most popular and highest profile Canadian players playing in professional disc golf. Now, those are the 2 signings we know about. Lots more to come. We also know about some departures. Gavin Babcock made a somewhat cryptic post, but looks like he's going to be leaving Prodigy. So they will lose one of that young core that Prodigy has done so well with over the last year. We also know that Robert Burridge will be leaving Innova. He had his breakout performance at the Des Moines Challenge where he went to a playoff with Simon Lizotte, ended up losing there, but lots of talent for Burridge and he'll be making a move. We don't know where he's going to end up yet. Now for some re-signings. Chris Clemens will be back with Dynamic Discs in 2023. Dynamic posted on Instagram that he would be rejoining. Clemens, one of the best lefties on tour, and has quietly been playing extremely well for Dynamic Disc over the last couple of seasons. Additionally, lots of re-signings over at Discraft. Andrew Presnell, Andrew Fish, Vanessa Van Dyken, and Ben Calloway all announcing that they will be extending at Discraft. Ben Calloway did get dropped from the elite team to the tour team. The others will be back on the tour team in 2023. Typically, Discraft makes some splashier announcements for their top players, and there's still some speculation about where Anthony Barella might end up. Lots of rumors online connecting him to Discraft. We'll see. In case you missed this over the holidays, the PDGA Euro Tour over on Facebook posted that Paul McBeth is going to be playing a significant chunk of the Euro Tour in 2023. So he is already registered for the Konopiste Open and the Swedish Open, and is expected to appear in 7 tournaments in total, beginning with the first Euro Tour tournament in Croatia, followed by 5 more Euro Tour events leading up to the European Open. So a significant European swing for Paul McBeth. European disc golfers are already very excited for that, and perhaps this will start a trend, as McBeth is so known for doing, of seeing players take a little bit more time to tour over in Europe as the touring scene starts to really get developed on that side of the Atlantic. So that brings us to our Statmando stat of the week. Hailey King is the fastest player in FPO history to reach $100,000 in career earnings. It took her just 1,646 days to do it. We've seen all kinds of these money-breaking records. Pretty amazing to see that Hailey King has gotten to $100,000 in just over 4.5 years as a professional disc golfer. So congrats to Hailey. And now to our social media minute to wrap up today's show. And we'll just play you out with this. It's a clip from the Disc Golf Pro Tour Instagram of the season finale of their On Tour series from DGN that gives you an inside look at all things DGPT. A little bit about Owen Scoggins and her background as a disc golfer. Take a look, and we'll talk to you next week.
Owen Scoggins 48976. And I'm spice. Well, and then get now, hold on, surprising my dad. Owen Scoggins come from Laos. I've been here 2009. Come here because I met the love of my life, who now is my husband for over 13 years. You know, he's introduced me to the disc golf, so he was the one who hey baby, you wanna come and play disc golf with me? You know, I was like, no, I don't want. I don't like this game. You know, what is this game? And then he gave me a try. He have very own disc. Do you know this one? I said, no. Would you like to try? I said, sure. And the first time I throw, he was like, "Oh, you throw straight and you throw good." I said, whatever, you know. The first course I played was Oak Grove, Pasadena. It took me some time to like it, and then when I start to like it, it never stopped from there.